right, everybody, welcome to Beyond the Court, episode 54. Let's get right to it. Bring in my co-host, our co-host, Leo Vasquez. What's up, Leo?
It's Leo.
It's Leo, like Leonardo.
Leo Vasquez.
How we doing, Leo? How's it going?
Thank you for the nice introduction. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Court. I'm doing fantastic. There is a lot of ball going on. I just, we're going to get to a lot of stuff tonight, but I was just watching the Paola Longoria experience down in Aguascalientes, Mexico, an amazing event. We'll get to hear from the queen herself tonight. I got the chat going. I'll be monitoring the chat as well, and I know you are too. So I'm ready for tonight's show. Let's get it popping.
I love when you hear, when you have the chat going, because even though I have ADD, there's no doubt about it. It's it's difficult for me to manage everything right now. I don't have Scotty Mac, so I got it on lockdown. I got you. We're gonna have some cool guests tonight. We're gonna start off with a guy I think everybody knows, Kane Waselenchuk. See what he's doing.
Let's bring him in. I know we're gonna have a lot of questions for all the players tonight. We're gonna have I want tonight to be about the experience for the players. So I'm going to be reading questions from the chat. So if you have questions for Kane, for Paola, for Daniel, for Alvaro, type them in the chat. I'm going to try to get to every one of them. I do want to know, we already got some stars going. I'll lay off the stars for tonight, but just know that we don't have any show sponsors at the moment. We are looking for show sponsors, but you can be a show sponsor tonight by donating some stars. So I'll leave it at that. And like I said, I'm ready to get tonight popping. We got some amazing guests lined up for you guys tonight, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, before we get to the guests, right, let's tell everybody, Leo, real quick, again, the deadline for the Treasure Coast Racquetball Series is tonight, event number 1, and we're at 30-plus participants with a max of 50, Leo. And that was pretty ambitious, wasn't it, announcing the first event 2 weeks away?
I was really surprised. You came up with your series. You didn't want to wait. You wanted to jump on it and get it going. And when you contacted me about it and asked me my opinion, of course I was like, do it, go for it. Fill it up. It's just the first one. I did a similar series. I called it the Triple Crown. I love yours, the Treasure Coast Racquetball Series. There's some incentives for playing in every one of them. You get a golden ticket, and at the end, there's a sponsor that's donated $1,000. And then I think you're going to draw, several, 4 or 5 names out of there. You're going to take home some extra cash. So how about we extend the deadline? You think maybe we could go to tomorrow night, maybe try to get some more people, help get that 50 in there. It would be great to see some more people signed up for your event.
Yeah, that's fine, except Jonathan Clay at Rollout, doing the shirts, he might want to slap me in the head for giving him some more new sizes. But yeah, no, it's going to be fun. It's definitely going to be a good time. It's this weekend coming up. Can't wait, which actually precedes the Florida State Doubles, Leo. And I have a little, guess what? I'm going to be playing the Florida State Doubles Men's Open. Nice. I didn't tell you that, did I?
No, the breaking news.
You know who I'm playing? Vero. Veronica Sotomayor, my favorite player.
Yeah. Shane has to take a back seat on this one, huh?
No, they're playing mixed doubles. They're going to play the mix.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. But hey, so before we get to that, and before we bring Kane in, we have one of our biggest supporters personally. We have to say a huge happy 29th anniversary to Mike Courier. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's right. Mike Courier.
Wow.
29th anniversary. You two are celebrating. Hope you're having a beautiful time. And I know Kane will be saying something as well when he hears that. So let's take a quick 20-second commercial.
Let's do it.
And then we'll be right back with Kane Waselenchuk. Don't move.
Happy anniversary. Cheers.
All right, there he is, everybody. And let me go. If I have static or anything going on, Kane, I'm sorry. Leo's been trying. We've been troubleshooting all day. So if something's not right, my bad. Kane, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show.
What's going on, guys? How you doing tonight?
We're doing good. We like it. We like seeing you. You know, we've been talking a lot. You sound great, man. And that's really, you know, the other day we were chatting and I told Leo, I go, we got to bring Kane in. I said, he's sounding good. He's in shape. He's sounds like he wants to get out there kicking some ass. So, Kane, this is all your time right here, brother. You know, Leo, I
Yeah,
know has some
well, no,
questions.
man,
I do. The fans do. You go.
yeah, no, I appreciate, I always like to come on here and talk with you guys, but no, I mean, life is good and just working and training a little bit, maybe make a few surprises here and there. I mean, obviously it's cat's already out of the bag as far as Rocky and I playing outdoor, which I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. With his experience, and then I kind of have like more of a hybrid kind of outdoor. I mean, I remember when Ben and I played, I remember a specific time out with him where I was like, man, I'm trying to play outdoor racquetball, and that's not me. I was like, I'm gonna bring indoor, outdoor, and so I'm excited for it. I mean, for a better half of what, I don't know, 10, 15 years. I mean, Rocky and I have always been battling against each other. I mean, we were 1-2 for a long, long time, and so to kind of be on the same team is pretty cool. I talked to him the other day, and he sounds pumped, and I'm pumped for it too. So
How did that happen? Tell everybody that's watching kind of how that went down.
yeah, so as everyone knows, Keith, is a big supporter of mine, and he kind of mentioned it a little bit, and I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess. And he goes, well, I'll call him and I'll ask him if you want. And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't even really know. I mean, he's like, well, I'll just call him and ask him if he'd be interested. And I was like, well, fine, then whatever. And so he did that and called me back and was like, man, he was really excited. And, so I was like, all right, let's do it. I mean, cool.
Let's be honest though, Leo and Kane. You know, if Keith called him, it was probably pretty easy for Rocky to say yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fair enough. But I mean, listen, it's, I mean, I think that the feeling is mutual with Rock and I, right, in this regard. Like, I mean, I'm honored to play with him doubles outdoors, and I mean, obviously, I mean, he's most likely honored to play with me in doubles and be on the same team, in general, right? So I think it's great for racquetball. I mean, I think it's just as good as when Suds and I first played, and I think it's exciting. I think it's something that the sport needs, and I'd like to see everybody embrace it. And you don't have to cheer for us. That's not really what I'm saying. Just everybody embrace it. It's a really neat time, and racquetball's getting back into the swing of things, and so brings a little excitement to the outdoor game as well too.
How important is it to have people like Keith Miner in the game? Keith he's helped players, he's sponsored tournaments. I mean, what can you say about Keith?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, he's, supported me for years, and, I appreciate it very much. It's not just that he's, helping me. I mean, it's helping my family, and, and in tough times and stuff like that, he's really helped me. And so, for me, Keith will always be, very special to me, in the way of, also my career as well, too. A lot of things maybe a lot of people don't understand, but a lot of times where when I was at a tournament, it was solely because of him. And, I've had a few more, people step up. Obviously, Mike Courier, obviously, what was it? What did you say earlier? His birthday, anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
I mean, that's awesome, and he's a big supporter of me as well, too. And of course, Carlos Cabrera, I mean, he helps me out too as well. And I mean, those are all great guys. And, Keith has been there the longest, obviously. So, I mean, that's obviously, special. I mean, Mike and Carlos, that's obviously very, very special. Carlos has a really good organization going, the Angels on Earth. I love to be a part of anything with kids and underprivileged kids and stuff like that. Any way I can help in that regard, I love to do that stuff. And just the support that they've given me is truly appreciated. And, but Keith, obviously, over the length of time, has really supported me. So, I respect what he says, and, it's kind of hard in this day and age to find somebody that you totally trust, and I'm fortunate enough that I can say that I totally trust him, and he trusts me. And I think that's, that's something very special that, it's hard to find nowadays.
Yeah. Keith has become, and others that you mentioned, they become more friends and family, and Mike and Carlos, and these guys are, they support you. They've supported us in some endeavors, which is amazing, and they continue to, and we appreciate that. But they're as important as really anything. Without them, we're probably not doing what we're doing.
Well, and I mean, it extends more than just me. I'm just speaking personally for myself. I mean, the stuff that Keith does, I'm sure for other players and whatever else. I mean, that, for me, like, I'm just like the tip of the iceberg kind of thing. I mean, Keith has supported racquetball in general for years, and Mike and Carlos and all those guys. And so, it's one of those things that, we're a small world, and it's really hard for us to show our appreciation and sometimes, to those people, and we've had a lot of good people that have come and gone, in time, as you as well as I do, Suds, for whatever reason. We don't have to get into any of that stuff, but, we've had a lot of good, we've had a lot of good people, and so, we need to acknowledge those people more. We need to make sure that, for me, I would believe that the three guys that I mentioned aren't really doing it for a return in anything. They're doing it because they love the game. I have a relationship with them. They, you do as well, Suds, so it's not really necessarily what they're getting in return. And I think that that's very admirable. And I think that we need to really, do a better job of highlighting those things,
Well said, man. I totally agree with you. Well, thank you, Keith. I know sometimes people hear us say it a lot, but like I said, he does more for even outside the sport. He sponsors outdoor tournaments. He probably does stuff that we don't even know about. Are you willing to take some questions from the fans? We got some questions in the chat. Let's do it. All right. Michael Kaplan wants to know when we're going to see you on the pickleball tour.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would have to say that if I was going to do the pickleball, I would just want to play the top guy immediately. I don't really care about anything else. Let me just play the top guy. I don't want to work my way up. I don't want to do anything like that. Give me like a month or 2 months to like hit the ball around and do what I need to do. And then I just go right to the top and play. And if I get, my ass beat, I get my ass beat. If I don't, I don't. Whatever. I'm willing to take that, So, I mean, it's new to me. I mean, it's kind of, it's weird, right? Because if my heart lies with racquetball, and so, I know that there's a lot of racquetball people moving over to pickleball, but at my age, it is about a financial thing too, as well. And I mean, if I can go over to pickleball and make money, I mean, and I don't have to be number one, just, make a good living. I mean, that wouldn't be all that bad either. But the mentality of like, I'm sitting at home and I'm going to go and practice pickleball seems a little out there for me right now. It doesn't really seem like a reality for me. So, but it's starting to interest me a little bit more, the popularity of it, and maybe one day it just might be like racquetball and it might be on a downswing and maybe not be popular. I don't know. Right. But, it's kind of more intriguing to me, and who knows, maybe I can't say no and I can't say yes. If an opportunity comes, I'll definitely think about it for sure.
Jesus Castillo has a question. Who are the sponsors in racquetball for Kane?
Well, Gearbox is number one as far as like companies. We have an interesting deal. I'm technically not like signed with any contract, but we do. I like it because we do things with a handshake, and until someone proves me wrong of doing that, I that's how I do it. And so.
Which racket?
And then of course Keith, KWM, and then like I said, Carlos Cabrera, the Angels on Earth, and then Mike Courier with the Performance Chemicals. And so far, that's all of them. As Suds knows, I like to keep my circle small. It's one of those interesting things that, you can offer me, any amount of money, but if I don't get along with you, I'm probably not going to take it. That's just how I am. And some people call me crazy for that, but that's just the way that I am, so, those guys right there, like I said, they're amazing people, amazing guys, and they do a lot for racquetball, and they definitely don't get enough recognition for that.
Leo, before you go, because I know the question, I know there's more, and one of the main questions that everybody wants to know. I'll tell you a funny story. A couple of days ago, I was in Chicago, and I was working with a guy. He's about 65, and, he's asking me about Kane. He's like, well, what's Kane like? So I didn't say anything. I just picked up my phone like this. I FaceTime, and he answered. And, Kane's like, hey, what's up? And I just turned the phone around to the guy like this. I go, here he is. You ask him. And I was just super cool, bro. Thank you so much for that. He loved it. you know, and after that, he's like, this is all he said after your couple-minute conversation. He's such a great guy. He's such a great guy, you know, and yeah, that's the stuff people don't get to see. So, you know, thanks for letting me share that with somebody that maybe would never have had a chance to meet you, you know, and he thought that was super cool. So yeah.
Yeah,
That was
cool.
pretty
That's
awesome.
that's really cool. I mean, listen, you know, I've tried my best not to look at me as Kane is a #1 racquetball player. I'm just a normal person, and you know, if I can just say hi to somebody and whatever's going on in their life negative, if it can change it just by a hey, what's going on? I mean, no sweat off my back. So you know, and you know, I'd do anything for you too, Seth. So it's all
I don't know,
good.
thanks, but that's the thing. You answered unannounced, so that was what was even more loving. You know, I appreciate that. But
That's the
yeah, you
perks
got a
of
new
being
fan for
brothers.
sure, Steve McKeon out in Decatur, Illinois. So Leo, I know you're chopping at the bits to ask the question that I believe Brian asked first. And Kane, this is a big one. It's important. I think everybody wants to know. Leo, go ahead. I know you want to ask it.
Well, before we get to that too, I want to pile it on too, because thank you, man, for all the tournaments that I ran at the Maverick. You did the same thing for me, man. People were in shock when I would call Kane on a Saturday morning, and I would walk around the club, and we would FaceTime people right before the tournament, and they couldn't believe it. I mean, they were in total shock. You know, here they are about to play a tournament, and you know, Kane's giving them advice, you know, mentally, and you know, and asking them questions, and they're like looking at me, and I'm like, he's asking you a question. You know, because you know, what's your game plan? You know, what are you going to go in there and do? And you know, blah blah blah. And so, thank you for doing that, man. That went a long way. You know, after the fact, after the tournament was over, people were still, you know, blown away by that. So, you know, those little things like that. Two more quick things. Do you have private sponsors? People that you don't name, you don't want to name? Do you have people that also help you that you don't name? No. Okay.
Nope.
And which racket do you use with the gearbox?
I use the Gearbox 170T. It's the teardrop. It's a phenomenal racket, and I actually don't break strings, which is nice.
Which color is that one?
The blue and black one.
The blue one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So, and before we get to that tournament, though,
we already know the question. We already know.
Leo
but
bro, he's been torturing me all day. I think he's messing with me, Kane, because we've been doing like sound checks and video checks. And he's sitting on the other side of this, and he's like, static, sound. Could he be messing with me? I mean, I might need a
before
video.
we get to that,
Would it be bad if I asked the question and answered the question too?
Well, you already know it's Brian's asking. Our boy Brian, Amir is asking.
Well, there's a precedence. There's a precedence before that. So there is a tournament before that. So I guess before we get to that tournament, what is your commitment with the IRT? Because that will lead into, are you going to play Maryland? Are you going to play the US Open? Are you going to play the Golden State tournament? So
my commitment with the IRT is no commitment. I don't have any commitment to the IRT. My commitment is to my sponsors, and I talk to them, and, you know, we decide, you know, together, you know, I let them know that I would like to play a tournament, and, you know, they say yay or nay. And thankfully they've never said no, which is very fortunate for me, but that's kind of the way that it goes. I mean, I'm, you know, still working a full-time job as well too. So, and I really enjoy what I'm doing. So, you know, it's just, you know, I can't really say if I'm going to or not going to. I say 50-50 for Maryland, you know? So,
and then jumping ahead, will you play the US Open?
You know, I'm not really too sure yet. I've kind of struggled with this one a little bit. We probably don't have enough time to actually talk about everything that I would be thinking in my, you know, and analyzing, maybe over analyzing. But I'm not really too sure. I don't know. It's not based off of my work. It's not based off of really anything, but you know, and I don't want to really cause controversy or even point fingers at anyone. That's not really fair, because I've never ran a tournament to that magnitude. And so, you know, I know there's a lot that goes along with it, but, you know, there are some, I guess, questions that I would have that I just maybe don't understand is, you know, like, you know, why don't we have the show court? You know, what was done in the 2 years, you know, that we knew that Doug was leaving, you know, I know a couple of sponsors, personally myself, that were sponsoring the US Open for years and haven't even got a phone call from them, you know, talking about it. Right. So if you think about, you know, 3 of them that I know specifically, that, total would put enough to get the show court there, in my opinion. Right. So I don't know. I guess I'm more confused. Right. Or if we couldn't have the show court, then why are we still doing it in Minneapolis? Why couldn't we do it somewhere else, like Texas A&M or somewhere else? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of questions. And I think that a lot of other people have a lot of questions too that really aren't being answered. And so, it's very hard, for me. I try to take a step back, being one of the pros, and I try to look at it from an amateur standpoint. And I think that what's difficult to sell right now is the fact that everything is being downgraded, yet everything to get there, to be there, whatever, is more expensive. So, when we have the show court and we have that area and we have that viewing and we have these, the pavilion and the VIP, and we have these, certain luxuries. When you ask, for an average person that is just getting a medal, to go and spend $2,000, maybe even $3,000 for the week, take off work, do this, do that. I think that it would, like right now, based on what I've heard, it'd be hard to convince somebody to do that, And so I think that's one of the things that I'm, I guess kind of thinking of, like, outside the box. Like, I mean, as far as me, it doesn't, I'll have to just treat it like a higher tier 1. That's, that won't feel like a grand slam. It won't, that's how I have to treat it. I'll get paid. I'll do that. But I think that overall, I have to think, like, to me, I think about the amateurs. I think about the people that support the tournament. And really, if you think about it, we have 700, 800 people in a US Open draw, in all the draws. Well, if you look at the pros, take 200 of them out. That's 500 people that are amateurs that are spending their own money, and they feel that there's a worth because of the show court, because of the level of play on the show court, things you get, perks you have. Now that's all being taken away, and everybody has to still pay the same amount. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I try and think of racquetball as a whole and everything, and it's just a very difficult kind of situation altogether, very unfortunate in my opinion.
Let me ask you this, because you bring up a good point. The pros are going to go. Most of the pros, if there's a tour, they're going to go, right? But you and I and many others, right? We kind of think of the U.S. Open as the Super Bowl of racquetball, as the Stanley Cup, as the World Series, right? Call it what it is. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that has gone on that has gotten us to where we are today. And as Leo knows, he was copied on an email. We have an open invite to USAR to come on our show and talk about all these issues, because it costs a lot of money to run the event, show courts. But you, Kane, personally, if the show court's not there, and it's not that US Open feel, do you see it still as an event like I have to go to? Because the US Open's your event, right? Call it what it is. You've won it 100 times. I think it's only been played 25, but I think you've won it, 30? So it's. Do you still see it the same way, or will you check it and go, you know what, it's just a couple of courts, glass side walls, back walls? Is it still the U.S. Open to you?
Well, the direct answer is no. And this might be different for other people, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I've won it 15 times. I know what it's like to be on that court 15 times, and hold the trophy and be in that environment. And, and the environment every year is different. I mean, there's been times where people have cheered everything against me, and then there's been times where they cheer for me. I mean, it's a different environment every year, and it's a little different vibe, but the vibe is still electric. So, for me, I don't even know, if I should be in the conversation about, the show court, because I've been very fortunate to win it, like I said, 15 times, be in that environment. And to me, just to go to a random court and, and just play, I don't know. It just seems it seems a little disappointing, I mean, and again, there's like, it leads on, like, I'm disappointed because, the show court's not there. This isn't there. Like, the whole seating around it, the stadium seating. I saw an email that there's stadium seating at this new one. Well, what does that mean? 2 bleachers? That can be considered stadium seating. I'm not trying to be facetious or anything. I'm just, there's a lot of gray areas, when it comes to what's going on for the tournament, when, again, there shouldn't be gray areas. Like there's a couple things here, like you had multiple years to work on this stuff, and why is there so secret? Why can't we figure out what's happening? Why can't we, I mean, and I don't keep up with it 100%, but I mean, I still see it. And, Suds, we talk about it, and, Leah, we do too, personally. And, I'm kind of confused, I think more than anything. I mean, I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I'm just more confused. Like, why didn't I get a phone call to go try to help get sponsors? Why didn't I, if they were losing a sponsor or whatever, like whatever it was, like, I don't know. I'm more confused about it. If you're going to take something over of that magnitude, you better just keep it the same or do better, not do like drastically under of what we're doing. I don't know. That's just my take on it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. That's how I would view it, so it's just a tad bit disappointing to think I'm going to win the US Open and I'm going to be in a court like I am at Lifetime after 15 times of being on a show court and, all that. So that's just me.
Yeah, I think it's tough. I think it's hard to, without everybody knowing, because there isn't full clarity and transparency. It's a difficult situation. At the end of the day, it's an event that is really important for USA Racquetball, for racquetball in general. And, as much as it's not about being negative or positive, it's just about being honest and open, and trying to get answers for people. Hey, if you can afford it, you should go. Go support the event. Go support racquetball. Is it going to be the same? No. Will it be different? Yes. But give it a chance. If you don't like it, don't come back next year. I mean, whether your decision is based solely on if Kane is playing or not, wait for him to tell everybody if he's playing or not, if that matters. But as far as the deck, in my opinion, that Connor, who's the national events director, has been handed, it's a difficult one, man. I mean, think about it. We've watched Doug Yanham run that event for 25 years. That's the only event he runs by himself. Connor comes along during COVID, by the way, and they go, hey, here's 6 national events. Have at it. Yeah. So I'm done with like pointing the fingers of him, her.
No, but you could also have the argument that, we call it a racquetball family. So if you at any point didn't believe that you could put forth, or or stand up to the precedent that has been set as far as Doug in the US Open, then why not ask for help? Why not? Or, I mean, I know, and this might be a little extreme, or get somebody that can. I don't know, like, our sport, a lot of it solely depends on the US Open. That is our precedent. That is our biggest, and to see that dwindling away. Now, maybe next year it might be better, right? So, again, but there's just a lot of different, it's something new. It's kind of a shock to a lot of people. It's a shock to me. I figured and was under the impression that the tournament was going to kind of keep going. And now it's kind of like, huh? Like, so it's a little bit of a shock too. And you just have questions, nobody should take offense to it. It's just, there's questions. And if you're asking people to spend thousands of dollars to come to a tournament, I would think that they probably deserve some answers. I don't.
Kane, have you ever talked to Connor or met Connor? Do you know Connor?
I think I briefly met him at the US Open. But it's not like I've sat down with him and talked to him or anything like that.
Do you think there was enough, if somebody from USAR, whether it was Connor, obviously he's events director, you think you would have had enough connections and sponsors to maybe make some of these things happen that you talked about, maybe bringing in the portable court? I mean, you have, Keith Miner, who's obviously in some kind of business, and then, you have other people in the game too, like Francisco Fajardo, who's actually storing the court now. He's in the construction business. I mean, do you think just you, and I mean, we all know some of these people, do you think you yourself would have had enough connections to maybe, make some of these enhancements happen and talk to these sponsors and see?
Well, the answer is I don't know, because I'm not the one making the final decision. All I can do is just make the phone call. So, right. I don't know. I would like to think that if I was put in that position, that would I get it all done? I don't know. Right. But I think that when you talk about something like that and you go and get sponsors, you also have to think about notoriety. And you have to think about, like an example, right? Like, pretend like Keith wasn't my biggest supporter, right? But he really liked me as a player, right? And you wanted him for a sponsorship for the U.S. Open. Well, why wouldn't you call me and have me talk to him and maybe go play golf, maybe like go out for dinner, do something, right? Like so that way you can establish a connection, right? So like I mean, everybody's got their own connections and and all that kind of stuff, but like I think that when you talk about business in this sense and sponsoring, you have to develop a rapport with, even you got to start somewhere, right? And right now, if you look at it, these people are putting money towards the US Open, which means that obviously there's a certain pro or pros that they love, and they love racquetball, right? So that's what I would like to boil it down to. It's not like they're sponsoring it because an amateur in 75 plus is there and they're going to give, I technically don't know, but I just think that would be unrealistic. So they're putting this money towards to have the pros there, and of course help the tournament as well. But I think the first part of it would be the pros. And so if there's a sponsor in the past or future or whatever, that it doesn't have to be me. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is that like, when I was number one, not everybody liked me. Some people liked Ben more than me. Some people liked Rocky more than me. So your influence, you don't have to be number one to have a certain influence or impact. Like when you talk about sponsorship and going out and getting it, there's an angle from each person. And, if somebody likes Rocky, then you need to send Rocky. You don't send me, you send Rocky, and you let Rocky go and you let him talk and, whatever. And if you want to give him like a finder's fee or whatever, then fine. That, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're going to bring sponsorship towards the IRT, that's going to help all the players. Yeah, I don't have a problem with you, getting a little extra, here and there. Right. I don't at all, but you have to build the rapport, and there are the sponsors that I think that also have their favorites or have their interests. Like, hey, I want to see how Kane is, so what do you think? Can Kane come to my club and play, in Chicago? It's like, well, yeah, of course. I'm going to spend 2 hours to go play, and it could be a $10,000-$15,000 sponsorship for the U.S. Open. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? So I don't ever remember ever getting asked to do anything like that in all of my career, which I think is, I think that it would go a long way. I mean, if you look at sales, we're in sales. That's what we're in, right? And in sales, they take their potential customers out for dinner, and they get to know them on a personal level and do that stuff. Well, it's the same thing. I mean, we're not we're kind of in sales in that way, where we're trying to pitch somebody to support our sport. So
yeah, it's this is a tough conversation. I mean, I'm getting side texts from so many people, and it is what it is. I guess, Leo, that's what we try to do here at Beyond the Court is have these tough discussions that are necessary to at least shed light. But at the end of the day, the three guys you're looking at love the sport, want racquetball to succeed as much and more than anybody. It's what we do. It's what we need. So we want the event to be successful. We want it to happen. We're going to be done talking about it right now. We're going to go.
Well, I mean, I can just add one thing to all this stuff that we talk about. This might seem like negativity. It's not, right? It's just talking. Not. But like,
right, I agree.
Also, too, I think on the flip side, I really don't like the position that I'm personally in, because regardless of what my popularity is in racquetball, whatever, I put a certain amount of accountability on myself, to promote racquetball and do the right thing. And so it puts me in a position where, I want it to be worth it for me, and, some of this is a mental thing of my expectations and the precedent that has been set with the tournament. So I don't like the position, because I want to do my best to be a good ambassador, even when I retire. And I'm not retiring. I'm here, and I'm ready to play. But like, it's tough for me, because I want to be the best ambassador that I can. And I've been around for a long time, and I want to make the right decision. And this makes it a little bit harder to make the right decision. What is the right decision? Do I make the decision based on myself? Do I make the decision based off of racquetball? Like, so, on the flip side of it, it's not a easy decision for me either. I know if I go, what I bring to the tournament, and I know if I don't go, what happens also partly to the tournament. So, there's another side of it that I don't think a lot of people look at. This isn't like I just like, oh, hey, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to play. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like that. It's, I look at the whole picture of it in racquetball in general too.
If you go, are you playing doubles?
Yeah, of course I am.
Great question.
Yeah, I'm playing with Suds. What are you talking about? We're playing, brother. Come on now.
Oh, there you go. All right, Kane, listen, you see your friends in the background in the waiting room over there. We're going to have to bring them in. We're going to bring you back, real soon, anytime you want. You know what? You come back whenever you want. How about that? You just tell us
All right,
you're
well,
coming
I'll
on.
let you know.
We'll host, we'll bring on, but we're going to bring them in. There's a lot going on down in Mexico. Kane, as always, thank you for taking the time.
Yes.
Tell Allie thank you and the kids. And the dogs have been great. We haven't heard them. So
I locked him out of the room. I put a chair up against the door so they couldn't bust in. Yeah.
I believe it. All right. So, hey, thank you so much. We'll talk more about this for sure. And I'll be talking to you soon. No doubt about it.
All right.
So thank you. All right.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Good night.
Thanks, Kane. All right, Leo, let's take a quick commercial, and we're going to come right back in with the queen herself. We go from king to queen. And
I love it.
De La Rosa. So don't move. Check out
The
this
new
message
king
from Jules. We exist. Racquetball is an amazing sport. It helps you obviously physically and mentally, but it helps you in life in general. And definitely say that you should all go play.
Play racquetball.
I love it. Team dinner.
I'm ready.
Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh my gosh. Are you at team dinner?
Yeah, I'm in a dinner after the tournament. It's over, so we can tweet and finally. But in that place, it's a lot of music.
Look at you. Look how happy you are. What a successful tournament. Congratulations. You did it. You did what your friend Alex Londa did a few weeks ago. You hosted, you played, and then you won. So congratulations.
Thank you, Leo. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a congrats. That match was amazing. What a comeback. You never felt like you had a doubt. Hey, Daniel, don't worry. Can you hear us, buddy?
Hi, Daniel.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, okay, good. Daniel, she won 11-10 today. You saw it, right? Down 10-7. It was pretty impressive. We got to get to that before we get to your pickleball dominance.
No problem. No problem. Take.
Hey, no. Let's back up. It was 8-4. She was down 4-8 in the breaker. Do you remember that?
And then
I'm sure you do.
like 6. Holy shit! It was such an amazing. Lights off, and it was, for me, those type of games. Even like I had a hair attack during that match. It put me my best, and I keep focusing all time and try. And I think that worked.
What was hard?
Most important.
What was the hardest part about the tournament? Running it or winning it?
With this one we can include all the freaking crazy media after all the drama that we're gonna tell tonight. So it was kind of hard, like going through the news about that situation, then running the tournament, and of course, but it's good. It's something I need to learn, and I'm gonna keep like trying to do all the organizing and play.
Hey, Hermana, if you have some headphones, throw them in. Alvy just got here. Alvy, how's your audio? Can we hear you, buddy?
Hear me?
I'm gonna try to a little bit. I'm in a restaurant, so we'll see.
Alvy, welcome.
I like how Alvy leaned forward when he asked if we could hear him.
When you get old,
All right.
All right, Leo. So let's get right to it with everybody. Get right into it. Fire away. We got Daniel. We got Alvi. They got the Vegas coming up. Paola just won her tournament. Team Mexico. What's going on, Leo? What do you got?
Yeah, I think that's part of the big reason, that became a really hot topic on the internet. Hopefully we can answer some questions from some of you all, because you all were the ones that were directly affected by the big news between the Mexican Racquetball Federation and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Is it how do you pronounce it? Conade? Conade?
Yes.
Conade, yes. So, a lot of the stuff has come out in Spanish. Some people, can't use Google Translate. People are saying this and saying that. So I think this would be a good time for you guys, because it directly affected you, because you guys had to get some assistance, because you found out at the last minute that the trip to Worlds was not going to happen for you financially. So, Daniel, let's start with you first. What's your response to all that, and what's going on?
Well, yeah. First of all, years we've been supporting from representing our country. With a week notice, they're not gonna be any go and play. So it was for especially for me and for me that I'm in the United States, cheaper to fly from here to my city. A lot of the people didn't ask for money because they're from Mexico, our current situations and stuff, when they don't even know what's, we still have family, we still have personal for me that I live in the United States. But yeah, I mean, we support a lot of people come to us, and then to get there, because it's kind of interesting with our cut on the sports, well, in general, to be honest. But yeah, it's really good racquetball fan to get there, and then
Alvaro,
Leo, you're getting Daniel's audio is all wacky, right? Alvi, how are you?
Yeah.
Can you say something?
Alvaro, what is your?
Hear much of the what Daniel said either.
Yeah.
All right, Alvi, we can hear you. You and I had a conversation the other day. Why don't you give everybody the Cliff Notes version? It's mind-boggling, some of the things you told me. So please do your best, explain to everybody, and we'll see. Maybe Daniel and Paola can fix their audio a little.
Yeah, even with good audio, you won't. So. Well,
yeah.
What happened is, unfortunately, 10 days before the Worlds, by the Mexican Federation, that we're not getting any help from the government. We have to find our ways to or go, or so that was basically it. So we were in shock. We didn't know what to do at the moment, between all the players and coaches. We were gonna play the event, or we were gonna boycott the event, because it's very sad news that having Worlds in our own country, our government. That's what basically happened last week.
So, Alvaro, how did you find out about it? Was it via email, phone call, text message?
Yeah, we have a group with all the players and part of the Mexican Racquetball Federation. Mm-hmm. And basically we were told attend last week. When it happened at the beginning, I was one of the people that the best idea, the best the best thing was not to play. We would make more noise and maybe get some government and things think all. And at the end of the day, we all decided that the best thing to do for some of them, it's in their hometown with their family, and I understand. Like for others, they said it's only every 2 years, so they wanted to play. At the end of the, I decided to play also because it's probably the last one, so that's how we decided to play and find our ways to make it to the event.
Paola, let me ask you, Paola. You know, we don't have to talk about all your titles. We don't have enough time in a day. But you know, Mexico's not covering any expenses for your team to go to the World Championships. Is that accurate?
Stupid, honestly, because we say they just not 10 days before. But this situation starts in. I really wanted when I the World Games like a month ago. The government from Monterrey, which is the city that I represent, covered my expenses too. It's a situation that probably a little bit girl that right now is managing the sports in Mexico. She used to be an athlete. I understand support to go to Worlds, but she doesn't like, and I'm saying not racquetball. She's not supporting any sport. There's a situation.
She froze up. Paola froze up.
It's all the sports in
Can you-
Mexico that
It
they're
looks
not.
like her signal's not.
I don't know if you can doubt it.
Albie, you know,
Yes.
Albie, Daniel, I'm going to let Paola try to refresh because you guys seem to work. Daniel, I'm going to ask you.
Yep.
What are your thoughts, even though you're part American now, what are your thoughts on a GoFundMe that's happening and having success in the United States to fund you guys who, I'm openly going to say it, you're probably going to beat a lot of Team USA players. What do you think about that? And then Alvy, I want you to comment what you told me about that too. Daniel.
Yeah, you know what? I'm happy that a lot of the racquetball family help. You can see how big is a racquetball community. You know, some of the people they get in argue because and stuff like that, but we do it for racquetball, and then like stuff for kids international as well from United States, the juniors help. But man, it's just we have such a response for it. I was telling all amazing response for the racquetball. A lot of our friends and everything help a lot, and it's just anything helps, even if it's $500, $1,000, anything helps to get me and Avi over there, and of course our teams. It's just amazing. I'm really, really happy to help us to play for Mexico one more time.
Alvy, tell everybody, you talked about that. You talked about the money coming in and we talked about how this is bigger than just the World Championships issue, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to get into the specific numbers that you talked about unless you want to, if you're comfortable. But kind of tell everybody for 20 plus years how you guys, or you specifically, you've been paid as an athlete in Mexico. And what's changed now, not only just the World Championships.
Alvaro, can you give people some context first so they know what CONADE is? Is it the sports part of the government that funds programs like what you're involved in?
The Department of ours, they control every sport. There's the main people that give their or to different sports.
Mm-hmm.
That's the people that have the money. So what changed is the people in charge of the sport. It's different people that used to be an athlete. The lady in charge of the sport, and she doesn't care much about the athletes. So, like you said, we talked about that GoFundMe, that it's so interesting and funny how, and not funny. I like Daniel said about racquetball is the racquetball family. How from Mexico, from anywhere in the world, it's a racquetball family. People from the U.S. Were the ones that were gonna help. It's so that these people are the ones helping us out. Between you and me last week, like if Daniel and I win a medal, I'm gonna have in that podium because they were part of it. It's been their help. So.
You broke up. Let me just tell everybody. Leo, did you hear what he said? Alvy
No.
said that if they're on the podium, he's going to have an American flag with him.
Can you put that question or that comment from Tim Hansen back up? Because I'd like to get a response from Daniel and Alvaro, if they're willing to, that says, why would you want to represent a country that doesn't support you as top world athletes?
Alvaro.
For me, it's been the same. It's the same position years. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It's the same position. The money. We do it for the love of the game. Sounds like a cliche, or we've all done. We've been in part of the racquetball because we love our sport. We love it. We like to compete. This is what we do best. So that it's the only, there's always negative stuff in our sport, and we try to hide behind and do what we like to do. So to compete and the top players in the world, that's it for me. So that's why I keep playing.
Daniel, what would be your response to that?
Like I say, we like. Can you guys hear me good, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like I always say, yeah, we gotta give you the people what they want. To be honest with you, they're gonna watch us play. They're gonna watch be in a world championship years. It's only it happens 2 years. Yeah, probably maybe it's Aubrey's last one. We don't know. We don't know what's gonna. So we do it, and I just want to say thank you to all. And then excited, very pumped because it's in my city. So my mom hasn't been my one, so she's gonna be it. And then of course, so all my friends and fun tournament, and then it won't be possible when help us out to get there.
Alvaro, is it too late in the game for you to not want to play in the tournament? I mean, like you said, you just found out. I mean, you've been training, you've been getting ready. I mean, it is kind of basically too late for you to say, I'm just not going to play in the tournament. I mean, you still want to continue and go what you obviously trained to do, which is win the world championships, and then maybe you deal with the other stuff later. Is that fair?
For a moment, yeah. But I was ready to not play for a moment. That was my decision that came to my mind. Then after talking, and we have to stay together on the decision. If I was the only one not playing, they will have Daniel and I don't know, somebody else play. If I was going to take that decision with everybody else united and then make a statement but just by me it wouldn't matter much.
Hey, real quick, Amir Amigo had a question earlier in the chat and said that if you don't meet the GoFundMe goal that you have, will you still play the event? Will you still go and play?
Oh yes, yes. I'm gonna stay in the club. So yeah.
Can you hear that? Daniel, those are the kids. You can invite them in.
Yeah, DJ, come here, hurry up, say hi, come here.
He's like, who? Me?
Well, Alvy, I already told you. Veronica and I are going to pay your entry fee, just because we can't believe that. The entry fee is $200, Leo, and it's like
you gotta send me a Waselenchuk shirt too. I'm gonna wear that at the podium.
I'll send you a hat. When do you hello?
Hi, DJ.
When do you guys leave?
Wednesday the 17th.
Okay.
Wednesday the 17th. Well,
Right.
Well, your boy Damien just put a message up. He said, "Hurry up, he's hungry." So, do you have somewhere?
Yeah.
To be? Go do your thing. We'll close out with Alvy. We'll keep Alvy with us for a couple minutes. Daniel, you go be with the family and Damien. Have fun. And thanks for taking the time. Trust me, I know what it's like.
My good friend Kane Waselenchuk.
No,
I love it.
Alvy, we're not done with you. We're gonna let Daniel go be dad.
Guys, I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Daniel.
We'll talk later, Daniel. Thanks. Hi to the family.
Yes. Good luck at Worlds. Bye, DJ.
Bye, Alvy, so is that the Kane hat? You gonna wear that?
Doesn't look as good on me as it looks. All good.
You got to get Kane back in here now. Send Kane a text and get him back in.
You got the cowboy look. There's no doubt about that. So Alvy, but again,
yeah.
I want you to tell everybody. So, and tell me if I'm wrong. You've been compensated financially. Leo, check this out. For over 20 years as an athlete from Mexico. And that's important because many of our viewers and a lot of the, U.S. players, they don't understand because we as U.S. athletes don't get that type of compensation. We don't get paid monthly, whereas a lot of these other countries get paid monthly to go out and be an athlete. And, we saw this over 20 years ago. I was on Team USA and I said, hey, these teams are coming. And you guys were super incentivized. So you as a father as well, that's been your main source of income, basically your entire professional career, other than your sponsors and your pro money.
Yeah.
And it's just gone, right?
Just like
gone in a snap of a finger.
Yeah, we used to brag about that before.
Right.
And bonuses we used to get after winning international events. And the support we had for the tour as well. But that changed after the pandemic and restructures, whatever. That changed, and they told us there were any fundings for Worlds around. They said, okay, things are going to change, and you're not going to get the money for the last 20 years. So yeah, it's been it's sad and trading their athletes and their we call them alto rendimiento, high.
Yeah, it's like the high training.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad what we're going through right now, but I'm at the end of my racquetball career as a player. And
how does this affect a young Alvaro coming up or a young Paola that wants to be the next great Mexican.
It destroys their dreams. Basically, I mean, if they can do like Paola Longoria, that has won everything in their sport, and then take away or and help in a second, or me. I mean, what can you tell me that hasn't done anything yet, or dreams to be like? So it's pretty bad.
Hey, Alvaro, did Paola, and correct me if I'm wrong, did Paola say that it also affected other sports? This new person that came in and just started basically just chopping away.
Yes, they've been doing that in every sport in Mexico. So,
Can it change? Can it be fixed? Will it go back?
I don't know. Hopefully, of our sports, hopefully it'll be fixed because it's not right. It's not good for our country. I mean, that's a big part of every country economy, and yeah, how that's why we're, like, because that sense of for, I don't know, for the country or
Yeah, it sucks. I can tell, it's something to get emotional over, Alvy. And before we let you go, because we're gonna let you go here, and then Leo and I are gonna close out the show.
Okay.
In Spanish, because we have a lot of Spanish viewers, just give them a message of what they're gonna see from your last World Championships. I'm pissed I'm not gonna be there with you, but
me too.
What what's your
hey, we had fun last Worlds. Yeah.
We did. It was a good night, the last tequila night. Even though I was holding the silver, you had the gold. But it was fun. Just give a message to everybody in Mexico. Anything you want, say it in Spanish, Alvy. And after that, we're gonna let you go, and then Leo and I will continue.
Sí, no más. A toda la gente de México, que vamos a hacer nuestro mejor esfuerzo en el camino. Sí, son cosas que te afectan emocionalmente, pero pasar todo tipo de situaciones. Esto no es más que un poquito en nuestro camino y vamos a dar nuestro mejor esfuerzo, pero también voy a ver la ayuda que nos están dando nuestros amigos de Estados Unidos, porque que estamos participando en este torneo. La mayoría de la ayuda ha sido de gente que me representa. Es una compañía americana con la que juego racquetball, entonces es irónico que estemos jugando y participando en un campeonato del mundo extranjero. Pero igual, gracias por el apoyo siempre, y siempre voy a representar. Ahora cambian las cosas un poquito.
Leo, anything else for Alvy before we let him go?
I don't want to somber the mood. I mean, it's like
Alvy's not a somber, sad guy, man. He's a fun. Look at him. He looks in shape. Alvy, you're looking a little thin, and you've been working out, haven't you?
Ready, man. I'm ready for Worlds.
I know you are. I know you're not going to go there to not get a gold the last one. So, hey, you go do your thing. If not the best right side doubles player of all time.
If you like my,
you got to get him in here. He asked Kane
Kane
if he likes his hat.
He's good. I'm sure he's loving it. I don't know if he's watching. If he is, comment. But Alvy, we'll let you go. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming on as always, and we'll have you back. We'll have you back soon. Nice.
World. I'm ready.
I just have a little
World.
water. Salute. Thanks, Alvy.
Thank you, Alvaro. And the hat looks great, by the way.
Thank
All right, Leo, don't budge. We're going to take a quick commercial, and then you and I are going to close out the show. Stay
do
right
it.
there. Audio was a little wacky, wasn't it?
Yeah, apologize to everybody for that. You know, we do a lot of tests, and it works, and then it doesn't work. So we do apologize tonight for the staticky audio. We'll get it fixed. You know, it's just one of those things that happen. So we do apologize that sometimes it's, you know, it's hard to listen to, but, you know, hopefully you got to hear some good stuff. Just to kind of recap that, you know, we had Paola, we had Daniel, we had Alvaro. They talked a little bit about the situation with the Mexican government, CANADE, which is kind of like the physical fitness sports leg of the government. And it wasn't just racquetball. So let's clear that air up right there. And it wasn't just Team Mexico. I go online, do your research. CANADE cut programs across the board, and racquetball was one of them. So
Correct.
our hearts go out to the other athletes. This is their livelihood. Alvaro is just one of thousands.
One of our
in
family
Mexico.
members, you know, one of our sports family members.
And not only Daniel, but Paola was a recipient. They listed the recipients that were in that program.
Samantha, everybody knows. You know, all the players we know.
Samantha, you know, your good friend Javier Moreno was also on that list, and those obviously not playing now, but you know, just to kind of clear that up, it wasn't just racquetball, and it wasn't just these athletes from Mexico. And look, we didn't get into the specifics tonight, but it is to book a flight 10 days before to go somewhere. It's very expensive to pay for it with your own money. You know, so
well,
it's
when you're going to
expensive.
represent the country, I mean, that's just difficult. You know, Tim Hansen, I know he's watching, a legend for Team USA.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Hall of Famer. It would be difficult for me. I wasn't too long ago if they turned around and said, you know, pay your own way to go represent us, and the benefits all go towards them. And yeah, I have pride, and yeah, I want to go compete, but that's a difficult pill to swallow. And Albie, like he said himself, he said his original take was, I'm not playing. You know, I'm not going to do it. If you're not going to support me, how can I support you? You know, and he wound up realizing that if everybody's not on the same page, then it's a difficult decision. And I think he made the right one. And it's incredible, Leo, though, the financial support. You know, we talk offline, and Albie said, and he said it there, I don't know if you understood him, but pretty much all the money's coming from the U.S. And isn't it interesting that U.S. players, because of the way our racquetball family is created and the way we are, they're basically going to fund players and teams that, call it what it is, they're going to beat some U.S. players.
You know, to kind of flip back to the fundraising and what we do. Look, this is their job. Daniel's job is racquetball. Alvaro's job is racquetball. Paola's job is racquetball. Samantha's job is racquetball. Your job is racquetball. So I know it sounds, you know, but it's true. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. Would you go to work and not get paid? So you got to get your expenses covered. And look, you get bonuses for winning that. And whether they're in there or not, they're going to lose out on bonus money. Why not throw the money into the GoFundMe? This is what it takes to go, and for me to win, to get my bonus money. So I see a lot of chatter out there, people saying, oh, you know, it's thousands of dollars. Okay, go book a flight right now. You go see how much it costs. Then go look at the hotel. There's other expenses. If you're not a platinum member, you're paying for bags. Okay. They're $30 to $40 each way. There's all kinds of incremental expenses, food, meals, incidentals. So it all adds up. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Leo. That's well said. Pro elite athletes, everybody likes to count everybody else's money, right? That's just not fair. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's not the way it goes. Don't go on Priceline now and hotels.com and say, well, I found a flight, 47 different routes and you can get there for 760. Like, it is what it is, and if we could support, that's awesome. It's great. And I agree too, Leo. It is their job. It's our job. And we're doing everything we can to stay in it. And Alvaro and I had that conversation. Paola and I talk about it all the time. Look at Daniel. Daniel's playing pickleball. What did Kane say tonight? He said he is absolutely entertaining the pickleball idea.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'd like to see, I'd like to see the pros do well. I'd like to see, them succeed, whether they have to supplement their income, with some pickleball. So whatever it takes for them, but let's lay off of them a little bit. I've seen some chatter on the internet, people, and look what Alvaro and Daniel said. Hey, they're getting support from USA. And then you have people going, well, why would you donate to somebody that's going to play against Team USA? Look, we're all family. Okay. And nobody is stepping up and donating, hundreds and thousands of dollars. These guys are asking, for, $32.50 each. I think they're trying to raise $7,500 as a team. Because they don't live in the United States. That's why you see Paola's and Samantha's and Rodrigo's and Alexandra's fees a little bit less. So, good luck to everybody. I can't wait to watch it. I'm always going to cheer for Team USA. I love this country, and I'll always cheer for my athletes. But if Daniel and Alvaro are playing against somebody else, and I'm cheering for them. So it's going to be fun to watch. Yeah,
it's going to be hard for me not to cheer for Alvi here in his last one. I could tell he was getting a little emotional talking about it right there. You saw that, huh? And, it'll be interesting. So, Leo, we got the World Championships. That's going to be starting in a few days. That'll be fun. So that's some racquetball hot stuff. Leo and I will keep everybody up to speed. We'll talk about it for sure. No doubt about it. And then what do we have after that, Leo? After the Worlds, there's some sprinkled in IRT and LPRT events, right? We'll get to that. We're going to actually have, I think we're going to have Troy and Maurice on to talk about the event up in Maryland, the IRT event. Yeah, we'll have them next week. That'll be super cool. And of course, the U.S. Open.
Yep.
Whole nother conversation, Leo. Tell everybody, we did send an open invite. It's not an attack. It's let's chat. Let's talk.
Yeah, before we get to that really quick, that is still a hot topic as we lead up into the U.S. Open. But I do want to give some people a little bit of context on Team USA. Rocky Carson and Alejandro Landa will be playing in the singles. And then, of course, Erica Mania and Rhonda Racich will be playing singles for the women. Kaylani and Holly will play the women's doubles. Michelle and Alex will play the mixed doubles. Pretty excited about that. And then Charlie and Jake will play the men's doubles. So
Charlie and Sam, I think it is. Sam.
I'm saying Charlie and Sam. Mm-hmm. And I think Coach Durham is in the chat, so I want to say hi to him. Also, Roger Fleming will go as a trainer. So go Team USA. They're still doing their fundraising Team USA challenge. So go over to the website, check that thing out. Thank you to the 5 benefactors, and support Team USA.
Do it. Support it. Support the sport, just like the U.S. Open. Go to it. We're going to talk about that later, right? And but the sport needs you to go to it, whether you like it or not, Leo.
Yeah, the before we end the show, people are still talking about the U.S. Open. There'll be more answers to questions coming out. I'm certain the word is out. I've heard sponsors now are contacting USA Racquetball. I heard board members are getting involved. Sudsy, you've had fans reach out to you, and then you've basically said, look, I'll forward your information to USA Racquetball. I've had people blowing me up. I am involved. I am helping. Okay. I am helping promote the US Open. I am helping with emails, social media. You've got Renee in the office. You've got Amy Roller in there. Everybody is doing what they can to promote the US Open. So if you have ideas, there's a committee. There's an actual tournament committee for the U.S. Open. They're heavily involved. So they need to hear from you. They don't need to hear from Sudsy and I. You guys know how we feel. We're going. All right. We played. We're going. We're going to make the most of it our way. You heard from Kane tonight. I'll be honest with you. I know, they don't do it, but you need to reach out to the pros. You need to talk to the pros, and Kane should have been the number one guy. That's his tournament. He's won it 15 times. He's put his mark on that tournament. There's a lot of things that can be done. So, but it's got to come from you, the players. So reach out to USAR, flood their inbox, call them in the office, let them know what you want, and they should listen to you.
Yeah, that's a good point, Leo. We appreciate it. They also pay attention to the social media. We get tons of emails, texts. The ones that really bug me though are the big sponsors and donors that are reaching out to say,
Yeah.
hey, what's going on? And I'm like, that's on you. We're going to support it. We're going to help you. We're going to do everything we can to be at the event. We invited USAR to come on and talk about it, and we'll see.
Somebody, Connor,
have a
somebody
discussion.
from the tournament committee, and that's what we would do. Is it's not an attack at all. We would obviously let the fans ask them the questions, and you guys be nice and ask them some good questions. But we all want to know the seating, the VIP, the players' village. I love the players' village. I did. I like ping pong. I like hanging out. I like being able to sit down, open area. They had the TV. Doug showed it on a projection. You had all the cool vendor booths around. So people just have some unanswered questions, and that's all they do. All they want is some answers. So hopefully we can get them soon. I went online. It's not too late to buy a ticket. It's expensive to do anything now. Gas is expensive to drive. Airline tickets are expensive. So you might pay a few more bucks, but if you can go manage it, you can still get a hotel. Even if you don't play in the tournament, just go. Be there, experience it yourself, so that when you get home, you can give a firsthand experience about your attendance at the U.S. Open. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Like I said, you're going, I'm going. I hope more people will go. I'd love to see everybody there. I would love to show USA Racquetball. Look, we've spoken, and this is what we want. Okay, we want the portable court back. If it doesn't, it's not coming this year. We'd like it next year, the year before. We've got big sponsors that are wanting to help out. I think we have enough. Look, there's a lot of names we didn't mention tonight. The Donald Williamses, the Mike Kinkins. Okay, there's people around the sport that we already talk about. We could bring, with some help, we could bring the tooth goat back. We could get Randy Root back involved. We got Keith Miner in there. We've got some people, the Sal Percontes. There's a whole long list. The Grizzes. We have enough. We just have to make it work.
Come together, do it, make it happen. And hey, guess what? If you do go to the U.S. Open, there's a chance you'll see Kane and I play doubles again.
I heard it.
That's yeah. We've been talking about that. So, it's up to us, Racquetball fam. That's tonight's show. Leo and I are going to get ready for next week's show. That's right. We prepare a week early for shows, sometimes even longer. So, Leo, we got a lot of talking.
Hopefully, we'll have the USAR. Yes, we sent the email out. Let them know a week ahead of time, right?
Yeah. Gave them the invite. It's up to you guys. It's okay. Whatever works, great. If not, no worries. And it is important to from all you fans, players. Let us know. What do you want to know? Where do you want to go next? The Vegas event, the 3-wall ball. Mike Coulter, his crew, amazing event. Kane and Rocky are going to be playing out there. Makes me want to go watch. It does make me want to go actually play, but I might have to get out there. Are you going out to Vegas?
Yeah, I want to plug that. I always want to plug Mike Coulter. I haven't really met Mike Coulter. I've just when I went.
He's a legend in our sport.
When I went to national doubles, when it was at the Sporting House the last time, that's the last time I played in a tournament, and I saw Mike Coulter, and I knew who he was way back then and to now. So yes, I will be going. Team Dovetail. I will be going with Team Dovetail and with Headpen, and I can't wait. So go look. Same situation. Go and play, and if you can't go and play, go and hang out. Come hang out with us. Come hang out with me. Come hang out with with Kane. I mean, I've heard it's the best event in racquetball. U.S. Open.
It's a good one.
Yeah, so I'm going to be there. I would love to see a lot of people there. I love that the room rate is discounted during the week. It only goes up a little bit more on weekends. Yeah,
it's crazy cheap.
And look, I have friends that have money. I have friends that don't have money. And they said, look, just stay at the Strat. Don't go get you a room in this town. Stay at the Strat. You're right there. Everyone's there. And then you can go somewhere else. But stay at the Strat. So I'm at the Strat. I can't wait. And I hope you go. I hope you can make it.
I'm hoping so too, but like we said earlier, this is my job, and it's just, that's the tough question too, right? Like it's the elephant in the room, Leo. What if you have to pick and choose what event to go to? What if, and you don't have to answer that, but there, that's the situation, right? That's the situation in the economy right now. And we get that also. Yeah, if it was up to me, I'd be at every single one of these events. Mike Coulter's been asking me to come out nonstop. And, obviously the US Open and all these other events, I'd go if I could. And, thanks to some of my personal supporters and sponsors, those things are possible. But maybe
I hope
somebody
it
wants to play
happens.
in Vegas.
I
Yeah,
hope it
we'll see.
happens for you.
It'll be
It
great.
happens. It happens in the sport. If you guys don't know about it, usually, you can contact the top pro and contact them privately offline and ask them, what it would take to play with them at like event like 3-wall ball. So think about it. Think about it. Contact Suds. I know, you don't want to self-promote yourself on your own show, but how cool would that, playing in a Centurion or an age group division, with you out on the strip in Vegas? Sounds fun to me.
That sounds good to me. You know how to reach me. There's no doubt about that. So, all right, Leo, last time we're going to show this. You extended the deadline to what? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow night. Let's do one more night. Let's give the people a chance. This is the first one. Don't miss it. If you're in the Florida area or surrounding states, make it happen. Hop in your car, go down to the club and enjoy yourself. It's the Treasure Coast Racquetball Series. It's the very first one. It's August the 19th through the 21st. In case you don't know, there is a whole bunch of stuff that's going to happen. Everything from the hospitality to the special awards. And it's in a nice place, Vero Beach. I heard
Which one
nothing
are
but
we
great
getting
things.
you to? We'll save that one. Maybe
The championship.
December one.
The fifth one.
Yeah, December. You can pull the first cash winner out with the golden ticket. All right, so that's the show for tonight. That was Beyond the Court. First to you, Leo, any closing words?
No, we had a great show tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry about the audio with the athletes. We're going to fix that. But I hope you guys enjoy these shows. Thank you to everybody that reaches out to me and says that they enjoy the shows. I know some of you are in the chat and you don't comment, and that's okay. Give me some feedback. Let me know. Let Suds know. Obviously, we had some audio issues, but if there's any topics that you want to hear, if you think we're being too hard on somebody, let me know. It's might not change my opinion. But, like Sud said, I want what's best of the sport. And I do want to say thank you to Mike Kinkin. I am staying in the sport. Thanks to Mike. I was like Suds was, I was considering, what am I going to do now? Racquetball's kind of slowed down for me. So thank you. I'm part of Team Dovetail. I'm so happy. And life is great for me, man. So thanks for having me on the show. I hope to be on another one very soon. And I thank the fans for tuning in and keeping the chat popping tonight.
And Leo, thank you. Thank you for everything you do. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being my co-host here. And I know you're going to get into that chat room now, and you're going to be replying to all the comments and liking them all, and, doing that stars thing, which I love. I said we weren't going to talk about it, but we do sometimes. So thank you, Leo. Thank you to all our guests tonight. Kane, Paola, Daniel,
Yes.
Alvy. You guys are the greatest players in the sport. You're living legends, but we're also friends and we're family. So
I love it.
I appreciate you always responding and answering that call. Paola actually texted me, "Hey guys, so sorry. I'm sitting with the governor." And that's not a lie. I think you saw that in the group. Yeah. She's sitting with the governor. That's what we're dealing with. Paola, no worries. We'll have you back on. I know you'll answer the call. So we're gonna continue to do everything we can to support our players. To all the sponsors, all of my personal sponsors and supporters, Keith Miner, KWM Gutterman, Frank Hotels. I don't know if they want me to say their full names because, then their inboxes might get flooded. So the companies, KWM Gutterman, Frank Hotels, Performance Chemicals. Happy anniversary once again, buddy. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for the text. Carlos, Angels on Earth, just amazing what you guys do. Sal and DiProcanti, always. And Mike Kinkin, Team Dovetail. We've been doing a lot of stuff together. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to our first event this weekend. Leo, thank you for all your help. And then the following weekend, playing in the Florida State doubles. Can't wait to play with my wife, Veronica. And yes, she will be on the backhand side. I'll do what I can. So, Veronica, without you, none of this is possible. you know I'm not doing any of this. I'm probably not even in the sport today. That's a whole nother show. All right. And to the fans, to the players, everybody watching, everyone that supports us, that comes out to watch Leo and I do this, watches our videos, comments, likes, social media. We love you. Without you, it's not possible either. So let's keep doing it. Let's stay together. Let's stay racquetball. Let's go play racquetball. And we'll see you soon. All right, everybody. Have an amazing night. Thank you once again. Thanks.
Good night, everybody.